It is cold outside, people, if you didn't know. Because why wouldn't it be cold in December, right? I just got back from a walk and it was 20 dropping. It was cold and it was like refreshing and I lost the feeling in my face, but everything's good. I have a problem with focusing things, if you haven't noticed. Because, oh, you see my penguin back here? That is totally not a penguin. I'm losing my mind. I decided as long as I'm in like this really color coordinated outfit and stuff, I should just film. Star Wars 8 came out very recently, and because of this I thought it appropriate to make a video on Star Wars and to explain to you that, contrary to popular belief, I don't dislike Star Wars. That's not true. I'm just very objective. I have no special ties to Star Wars, so I see it probably more objectively, more unbiased than most people who have loved Star Wars forever, because I have no reason to like it or dislike it more than it deserves, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, movies are all taste. So something I hate, someone else can love on something that's not even biased. Definitely not all Star Wars fans that I have met are like these fandomites, as Megan likes to call them. Just people who like Star Wars mainly because it's got Star Wars stamped on it. You know what I'm saying? Those are the kind of fans I meet all of the stupid time. That's why I think I'm more vocal about my criticisms of Star Wars, because I want to fight that. Star Wars is not good because it's called Star Wars, you know what I'm saying? Not that Star Wars can't be good. I'm just saying it has the capability of being bad, as we've seen, and as we've seen, it also has the capability of being very good. So, yes, with that, I'm just going to jump in right now. The only movie I remember watching as a child, like as a very young person, was Star Wars 5. And to this day, it's definitely my favorite. It's definitely the best, I think the best written. That's the only Star Wars movie I would stamp as great. Star Wars 5 was amazing great. Star Wars 4 was good, I guess. It wasn't bad, but it had enough holes and plot inconsistencies where I'm like, come on, Star Wars, I mean, make up your mind. So we have Obi-Wan giving himself up for what reason? No one knows. And then they talk about how he has this power. What power? He just died. That's what he did. He did not gain any power. The only time we saw him after that point was appearing in like this ghostly form to Luke. And what was that? He has no special power at all. And then we go to Darth Vader, who was not intimidating, weak compared to his amazing Episode 5 self. For the first movie, you can give it more forgiveness because it's the first movie. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You gotta give some slack in that area. Hot coffee on a cold day is the most amazing thing. And if you're drinking it out of an awesome mug like this, it just makes it more amazing. Episode 4 was good, not amazing. Episode 5 was amazing, epic, awesome. Episode 6 was better than Episode 4, but I don't know, it just wasn't Episode 5, you know what I'm saying? Episode 6 is my second favorite Star Wars movie. Especially in the original trilogy, the inconsistencies are extreme. So we have in Episode 4, Obi-Wan's telling Luke that his father is dead because Darth Vader killed them. And then in Episode 5, we see Leia and Luke kissing. And at the end of Episode 5, we see Darth Vader breaking it to Luke that, you know, I am your father. And then in Episode 6, they say, remember when Obi-Wan told Luke that Darth Vader killed his father? We gotta make up some lame excuse about that. So they came up with some really corny, awful, lame excuse, and they shoved it into Obi-Wan's mouth, and it just sounded awful coming out. I mean, if you want to come up with this excuse, you could think of 1,000 better. That one was like awful. And then every time we find out that Luke and Leia are siblings, we remember them smooching in Episode 5, and we gag. Gag, gag, gag. The inconsistencies are absolutely everywhere. Leia was like, she was this really sassy, feisty person, Episode 4 and 5, which I liked. And then in Episode 6, she's like a regal, dignified queen. Where did that come from? That wasn't there? Where did this come from? Is really my question. Like, this popped out of nowhere. And it just wasn't as good in my opinion. Now let's move on to the prequels. The rightly infamous prequels. Alright, so we got Episode 1. Merely okay. It was not bad. It wasn't good. It was just there. And I personally, someone who loves Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, there were a lot of bad moves, bad decisions, plot holes, but the Duel of the Fates, the music and the lightsaber duel was just out of this world amazing. It's definitely, I think, one of my favorite lightsaber duels. And then we get to episode 2. It was garbage. It was awful. It was just terrible. I honestly think Star Wars 2 was one of the worst movies I have seen in my life. It was to the next level awful. Do we need to list the reasons? Because you could find 1,000. The romance between Anakin and Padme was ridiculously sick. It was sickening. Anakin was beyond level creepy. He was a jerk from the very beginning of the movie. It wasn't like he gradually became a jerk until episode 3 where he just crumbled. No, he was a jerk from the very beginning. There was no gradual descent, and he was a creep. He was a creep. This is where you seriously have to evaluate Padme's judgment. I'm thinking of that scene where Anakin's like, Padme, I killed all of them, and not just the men. I killed all the women and children. I killed everybody. And Padme's like, oh, you poor baby. It's okay. It's okay, poor baby. That is not okay. Are you kidding me, Padme? This guy is a nutcase. He is a mixed up, messed up nutcase. You need to get away from this jerk as fast as possible. But she can't seem to get this through her head. She's had one warning after another. He says creepy things. He acts creepy. He has creepy smiles. You need to forget about this guy. You know what I'm saying? Her judgment was skewed. Girl, what were you thinking? Are you serious right now? She has been given one hint after another stupid hint, and she marries the jerk anyway, and that's all on her. I don't know what was going on in her head, but it was just bad, okay? Badness. And Jar Jar Binks, a council member, I think we need to start analyzing the judgments of the whole planet. Everybody. Because this is silly. This is so silly. Jar Jar Binks, a senator. And then he goes and votes in, what's his name? I don't remember. The Emperor dude. He gives him a bunch of power. And you're like, yeah, you should have seen that one coming. He's dumb. Why would you ever elect Jar Jar Binks as a senator? He's supposed to be comedic relief. He's the Olaf and the Rhino of the Star Wars world. And a bad one at that. Why would you do this? The writing stank so bad. Everything about episode 2 was awful. Well, Obi-Wan was the one bright spot in the whole thing. He was kind of cool, like he usually is. But anything concerning Anakin and Padme was an absolute mess. And did you realize that she went into this battle place, this battle, with like a full shirt, and then she something tears her shirt, but somehow she's got this really nice crisp line. Like, that doesn't look on purpose. But episode 3 I have not watched, so I cannot say anything about episode 3. I'm guessing it's better than episode 2, because I can't even imagine anything worse than that. Then we go on to Rogue One. All my MediaRealming buddies out there, we filmed a Rogue One face-off, me and Heather against Ben Wally and Heidi Olsen, on a channel called MediaRealming. And you can check that out. The link will be in the description. Basically, me and Heather are arguing against the movie. Heidi and Ben are arguing for it. And I hated the movie, and I'm just going to say that. We went to the theater on opening weekend, which is a mistake. It's a mistake. Wait a couple weeks before you go to any sort of Star Wars movie like that, because it was an absolute madhouse. The movie was just bad. And there's so many plot holes that I could mention. But I think the main problem with it that I don't like is that they bent backwards to kill people, to increase the death count. Spoiler alert, everyone dies. Everyone dies, which doesn't have to be bad. I watched Davy Crockett, or they die with their boots on. I watch these movies, I like these movies, and everybody dies. It's not necessarily the problem. The problem is the movie makers bent backward to kill people, and even when they kill people, it didn't make any sense that they died. I died completing a task that was good, but I didn't have to die, but I am dying. Why? Because the writers wanted to make a dramatic sob story. That's why. So first we have Black Dude. I don't remember his name, so I'll put his picture here. I don't know what his name is, but we all know this dude. He's like, I can't run, or I give up, or whatever. While the whole planet blows up. So it's not just him who dies, it's the entire planet. Count number 1. How many planets were destroyed in the making of this movie? I don't know. So Black Dude dies, and then we got all of the people who died, all the planets that were blown up. I don't fault them for that as much, because like in episode 4, they destroyed planets. You didn't see the deaths. The real problem is when you see the deaths and they don't really make sense. Those are the worst. Am I right? Yes, I'm totally right. Jin's father is with these scientists, and they made this weapon. The Empire knows who the mole is. They know who the traitor is. They have all these scientists. they threaten to kill all of the scientists if the father does not basically give himself up. He does. Even though they know who the problem is, they proceed to kill the entire line of scientists. There's a reason why this isn't rocket science. It's like a term because rocket science is freaking hard and you need to be freaking smart. That's kind of like how it is in Star Wars. You get what I'm saying? You just don't kill smart, talented people like that. That's not how it works. You will have to replace every single one of those. Yeah? Through my groove.
Don't mind me. I don't know what you're talking about, but don't mind me.
That was an impassionate speech.
Okay, go ahead.
I thought you already took pictures of your pretty box.
No, I didn't take enough.
Oh. You have to replace every single one of those people. And you knew who the traitor was. It's not like you didn't know and you had to kill them all off. You knew who the traitor was, but you killed everybody. It was entirely pointless. Like, no wonder the Empire lost. It's like the rebels did some of it and then the Empire killed themselves. That's basically what they did. The Empire's dumb. Seriously. And then you get to the end. Heroic finish. All heroes die. Okay. The reason this is dumb is because the Empire decides to destroy the planet in which their plans were held because the rebels might have gotten one of their plans. So it's like, the rebels might have gotten one of our plans. I know what we should do. We'll blow up our base with all of our plans. Mind blown! This will solve everything! What will you accomplish by doing this? No one knows. It's like, you might have gotten a plan to one of our weapons, so we'll destroy all of our plans to every other project and every other system we have. We'll destroy all of our technology and everything we have here because you might have gotten one of our plans. I mean, it's just dumb. It was hard to buy why Jin and Cassian had to die and all this had to happen because the plan had to blow up. But the plan didn't have to blow up. If the Empire were sensible people who were trying to win, they wouldn't have killed all their scientists. They wouldn't have destroyed the planet. Would they have tried to kill Cassian and Jin? Duh. But they wouldn't have destroyed the entire planet. And it was just dumb. Everything about it was dumb. The Empire is stupid sometimes. The writers bend backward to kill people, and that's really pathetic to me. If you kill people in a way that makes sense, like maybe sometimes, like if you wanted to kill them off, find a sensible way. Like, come on, people. Seriously. Rogue One, I would not say it's unwatchable like episode 2 is, but I say it's close. I think the plot holes are enormous. And Jin, I just don't like Jin's character. She's boring. She's flat. And she is boring. And if you want to hear more about any of this stuff, if you want to hear Ben and Heidi argue for it, and if you want to hear the whole discussion, you can go over to that channel and that video, which, like I said, will be linked in the description. Alright, I'm going to turn off my advertisement speech. And we'll move on. And then we get to episode 7. For being the first movie they made in decades, it was definitely not a bad movie. Kylo Ren was good, Finn was really good, seeing Han and Leia was just so weird but kind of cool. But here's my gripe. It is like a duplicate episode 4, which is a totally uncreative, dry move. Episode 4 is episode 4. It's been made. The idea's been used. So you had to make another Death Star. You had to replace, Lucas, Rey. And why did you do that? Why couldn't you think of an original idea? Forget the dumb Death Star. If I see another Death Star in episode 8, do not do that. I'm done with the Death Stars. Cut it out. That idea has been used, recycled, and used. It's done. Don't ever use that again. It's not creative. It was dry. However, if you look at the characters, Finn was really awesome. Rey was not bad character by any means, but she definitely was not as good as like Finn or Poe. Dumb name as it is. Good character. I don't think she was extremely interesting, and I definitely think Finn was like, I love Finn. The only thing that really redeemed her was the actress. I love Daisy Ridley. She is quite amazing. So there are a lot of things I liked about episode 7, but who remembers when you had to train to become a Jedi? She didn't train. She didn't have to do anything. 2 weeks ago, she didn't know there was such a thing as Jedi, and then now she's force ordering people, and she defeats Kylo Ren in a lightsaber duel. I can maybe buy the force ordering thing. The lightsaber thing just did not work. Kylo Ren is like this, he's like a master, and this person who's never held a lightsaber in her life beats him. What the heck? How did this happen? That was one of their biggest flaws. Rey, she was too good at everything. So that brings us to episode 8, which I have not watched. I really hope it's good. I'm not gonna watch it in theaters, not like Rogue One. No. But I'm excited to see it when it comes out. Which brings us to another topic, which is Princess Leia. Carrie Fisher was an amazing actress. She died, which was extremely sad. Amazingly so. But I've noticed people, ever since that happened, people have been like idolizing her. She's turned into somewhat of an idol. And it's somewhat concerning. Like, my hero, my princess, my life. What are you talking about? She was a person who happened to be cast in a role in a famous movie 40 years ago. And I'm sick and tired of people treating Carrie Fisher like this angel, this saint. It is awful sad. It's terrible. However, she has not suddenly become Gabriel because she died and she happened to be a Star Wars icon. You mean, this is stupid. When we all heard that Carrie Fisher had drugs in her system when she died, everyone was like, but she was amazing and she's Princess Leia. It doesn't matter. She was just a beautiful person and she's amazing. Like, you need to shut up. What? So, because she's Princess Leia, it doesn't even matter that she had drugs in her system anymore. That shows how far you've gone. If she weren't famous, and if she weren't in one of your favorite movies, then you would be more objective and know that that was kind of dumb. And it was saddening to hear that she had lapsed back into a habit we all thought she'd overcome. But it was still her fault, and it was still her decision. But now it doesn't even matter, because she's Carrie Fisher. What is this? And I don't know where she was when she died, and I hope it was somewhere good, but we cannot assume she's in a better place because she was Princess Leia. We cannot assume she's in a better place because she's Carrie Fisher and she's awesome. It's wishful thinking, and if we're all realistic, which is not very fun right now, it doesn't look good. There's a famous saying, never meet your idols, and that's very true. Sadly, a great dose of truth in that saying. The people you respect and admire, they shouldn't earn your admiration. You shouldn't be like worshiping them because they were in your favorite movie. You know what I'm saying? You can love her as Princess Leia, you can respect her and be sad, but you cannot start turning her into an idol or holding her up as some like Mother Teresa or saint because she was Princess Leia. It's just silliness. I've heard enough people say it doesn't matter that she had drugs in her system. Baloney! Baloney! What are you talking about? If it were anybody else, like in the entire world, it would matter. But because it's her, somehow she gets a pass. No one knows why, but yeah, this is just silliness. And I've heard enough of this that's why I'm speaking about it, because it's irrational. I feel like in America today, or not just America, in the world, things are being turned into like idols, and it's really silly. People, actors, singers, celebrities, dogs, who knows what, who knows why, it's all stupid. That's why I'm addressing this right now. So that's all the Star Wars stuff I have to talk about. So ranked are here. We have episode 5, then episode 6, and then we have episode 4, episode 7, episode 1, Rogue One, and episode 2. That's my ranking right there listed. My opinion. We all have opinions and tastes. So I won't get on you for yours and you don't get on me for mine. That's like a good deal right there. So thank you for watching, and I think I'll see you later. Yes? Alright, peace. Ciao. Have a nice life.